Hey, let's see now. This was playing.
On that beat. Nope.
What is going on, Dusty? This is what I'm talking about. What is going on? What is going on this album, bro? That is enough for me to never hear another West Coast record ever again.
It's me or the famous me. How annoying does it angers me to know the lanes can speak on the origins of the game I breathe. That's the same to me. It's important.
Yeah, I feel that though, because where anything is almost. We all got mics. We all can jump behind something and get on here streaming, talk to niggas as if we experts, and sometimes or most times the niggas is doing that, giving opinions, don't even care about the origins of why niggas do this shit, where it started and came from. You know what I mean? Like, I try to downplay it, the effects of music, but if I'm 100% honest, the effects of music, I think unconsciously we don't really give it the real we don't really give it the real honest impact that it actually has on all of us. Yeah. Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy, we're back at again on the WatztheWord channel. About to go bang. Know what time it is, man. It's your boy, we're back again. About to go bang. Man, it feel good to be back in the building, man. We about to jump into a new reaction. Today, man, we got a bit of a treat, a bit of a surprise, that I don't think any of us really seen coming. I think we were anticipating a Kendrick Lamar album. There was many rumors about the album is expected to be dropping before the year is gonna let out. And man, he made the deadline. You know, he got us the new album before 2025 arrived. And yeah, we're here, man. The album is titled GNX. I wonder if we really get an explanation of what that is. Is it Generation X? I don't know. My mind. Is it Gen X? Like, I don't even know what the years of Gen X is. Like, we woke up to some new music from Kendrick Lamar, and I don't know if any of us expected it, like I said earlier, but here we are with some new music. I'm a bit stoked to get into it. I like to call myself a Kendrick Lamar fan. I think most of that is a Kendrick Lamar appreciator, but he does have some music that I actually rock with, that I actually can get in the car and turn on. It's not the bevy of his catalog, but artistically, musicianship, his pen giftedness, and just overall a project maker, a go against the grainer, if you will, pushing the envelope. Kendrick is that, you know what I mean? So I definitely respect Kendrick. And ahead of this, before we get into the music, I want to say he definitely been making, his moves have been flawless ever since entering the battle with Drizzy. He's been checking the temperature appropriately when he needs to and responding appropriately to whatever that temperature is. And yeah, man, I'm proud of the activity he's been showcasing in 2024. And so with that being said, man, let's get into this new album, GNX by Kendrick Lamar.
Siento aquí tu presencia.
Yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. That energy'll make you niggas move to Europe. I done been through it all, what you endure. It used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural. That's on my mind.
Now I like it used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural. Fuck everybody. I'm with that. I'm with that type of energy. No kidding. I can get with that energy right there. He coming with that type of shit, bro. Let me get back to it. Hold up. Fuck everybody.
That's on my body. My blick.
I like the slow motion of how he rapping with this shit. That's on my body. Fuck everybody. That's on my body. I'm with that. He can say body a couple more times. Pause. Hold up.
I done been through it all, what you endure.
Yeah.
It used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural. Put they head on the Cuban link as a monument. I pay the homage and I'll always mind my business. I never lost who I am for a rap image.
No man, I like just some of these lines. I never lost who I am for a rap image. I like that. That's real shit right there.
And God got me.
Hold on.
Yeah, nigga. Going up your rank. Know you a god even when they say you ain't. Yeah, nigga, keep your head down and work like I do. But understand, everybody ain't go like you. If they say it's love, you been lied to. A couple rules of engagements, I'ma guide you. Apologies, I wanna see y'all geeked up. Don't acknowledge me, then maybe
okay, well, that's where the title came from. I ain't even see the GNX shit on the card right there.
It's fair. Take it to the internet and I'ma take it there. Miss my
I ain't gonna lie, that's a Grand Theft Auto car right there, my nigga. It's so many of them shits riding around on GTA.
Used to bump the Carter 3. I held my rolly chain proud. Irony. I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Whatever though.
It feel like the nigga almost tried to start impersonating Wayne right there when he said that. You know what I mean? Like, he let Wayne down, whatever though. It sound like it's... Now, he does. Now, don't get me wrong. This nigga definitely does a whole lot of voice changes, but it's... If you know Wayne... That specifically sound like the nigga almost was kind of, I don't know. I think you can leave that up for discretion, like how you would take that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he would be, but if you take the line of what he said prior, it sound like the nigga may be kind of going at him in a mockery type of fashion.
Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Whatever though, call me crazy, everybody.
I don't think it's necessarily a diss. It sound like maybe he's just, like he's saying he let Wayne down. Maybe he almost kind of in a sense feel like Wayne response and just maybe universally how people responded has him almost disappointed in that. That's just off of first rip. But I like the fact that he, you know, I like when an artist hears the noise, right? Not always, but noise that we want a response to. I like when artists actually give us their response. It's mostly received best in the music though, which is what I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that for sure. But yeah, interesting way he addressing it so far, man. Let's see if he dive a little bit deeper.
New poster tailor-made, I prayed it was the edibles. I couldn't believe it. It was only right for me to let it go. Super Bowl and I'm the only one congratulate me. All these niggas agitated. I'm just glad they shown their faces.
He seen, I don't know. It sound like depending on the kind of ear you listening to this with, it can sound like he's well above where, and one could very much argue that he's well above the crowd or the rest of the pool. But also in a sense because it's so redundant in what his messaging, like basically F everybody. He's kind of disappointed in everybody with just, I guess, the response from entering the beef and kind of like the division that it caused in the industry. It can sound like he may almost be frustrated and agitated by so much of the disarray. You know what I mean? Like that came in the aftermath from all that stuff of the beef. Cause it and just his delivery kind of comes off like there's a little bit of disappointment, frustration. Like I'm almost at the point where like I'm about to be just done with all you niggas. It is kind of crazy because if anything, he kind of had like a lot of unity on his side and people unifying behind him with the whole not like us type of movement and momentum. So it's a little ironic that's kind of like the tone I'm picking up, at least through the music thus far.
It's not the sentiments. Fuck a double entendre. I want y'all to feel this shit. Oh, so it's me that you they favorite. This is not for lyricists. I swear it's not the sentiments. Fuck a double entendre. I want y'all to feel this shit. Against all odds, I showed up as a gentleman. I done lost plenty friends, 16 to be specific. Going up your rank. Know you a god, even when they say you ain't.
I like that going up your rank. That mug, I like that though. I ain't gonna lie, I'm with that.
Y'all stay politically correct. I'ma do what I did. Ain't no sympathy here.
I ain't gonna lie, this mug getting lengthy though, bro. How much, like this mug is 4 minutes in. This nigga got 3 verses, extended hooks. Let me see. All right, yeah, we 340, 355 in. He talking, but the nigga flow is the same throughout the whole. It is a little dragging at this point.
Been fake loyal since y'all pandering to choose a side. Let me do it for you. Okay, fuck your hip hop. I watch the party just die. And about all of y'all is on trial. Yo hip hop. I watch the party just die. Niggas cackling about While all of y'all is on trial.
He's still talking that shit that he was talking on Meet the Grams. Like, he's still, like, you know, he may have been using that to target that nigga Drizzy and probably just used, I don't even think the stuff really actually was even pertaining to Drizzy. I think because this nigga is the hugest nigga, let me use him to make everybody else aware of what the hell is going on really in the industry and entertainment business. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely think he hinting and bleeping out some stuff around probably Diddy, especially when he say everybody finna be on trial or everybody is on trial, those lines. I definitely think he possibly could be hinting at some shit like that for sure. But this verse and towards where it is now sounds like a continuation of some of that stuff that he was talking about on Meet the Grams.
Niggas thought that I was antisocial when I stayed inside of my house. You better off to having one woman, everything tricky right now.
I like that. You better off having one woman, everything tricky right now. I like that. Like, that nigga gets it right there. He like, I like the bars that reveal kind of where he mentally is. You know what I mean? Like a lot of this shit is counterculture to hip hop, bro. Like, which is what I can, if anything, that's been a part of Kendrick that I've been appreciating the most. Is just this revolution and kind of intervention he's been having with himself from, I feel like he's always been a very insightful, in-depth thinker. But it's more so where I see his thinking has gone to now. You know, just questioning purpose. Why am I here? Seeing what this industry has shown me and seeing just how to navigate it in a way where you ain't losing who you are. And probably in that process, finding who you really are, opposed to kind of what the industry has been telling you who you are. You know what I mean? So it's real. Like, feel like this cat on a real faith-based journey, and just constantly discovering that through just, you know, just all the stuff he had probably been through, work, rising at the top and still maybe feeling like, you know, insignificant in certain spaces, even though he financially overly blessed. So I've been appreciating that side of Kendrick probably the most for sure.
A bitch nigga love bitch niggas that exist with them in style. Exterminate them right now.
A bitch nigga love bitch niggas. A bitch nigga love bitch niggas that exist with them in style. That's just a way to, I like the way he said, like, this mug got mad, like, and he's proven a nigga could have been did shit like this. Like, this is a record where I like how he said this ain't for lyricism, this ain't lyrical, none of that, because he's getting straight to the bars of just like easy, digestible, relatable, but quotable bars. Like, I'm definitely gonna see niggas putting these, like, I'm going up your rank. That one he just said, like, it's so many just little easy takeaway joints from this one. I think that's dope that he actually giving us on this stuff, because that's not really Kendrick Lamar like-esque. You know what I mean?
Truth about to get loud. No juices out of my cup. I sober up and knock them all off.
The truth about to get loud. This nigga, between him and Cat Williams, nigga, they almost talk like they about to make the underworld become the overworld.
I know probably gonna work for them and fuck whoever that's close to them. The niggas that coon and niggas that being groomed, slide on both of them. Bear your soul and put your heart up in it. Well, I did.
Appreciate the
murals out, but it ain't no legends if my legend in.
I like that. That was a lengthy intro, but it was solid. It's an unconventional. This like but I think it serves well. It sounds like it's setting the tempo. Squabble Up is next, man. I think this is the one that came at the end and not like us, though.
Woke up looking for the broccoli. Hockey. I feel good. Get the fuck out my face. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walked in, walked out.
I don't know what, dog. Kendrick is almost borderline going insane, dog. Like, what is happening on these records? This is sounding like some way too sexy type of animation, like just sarcasm stuff. I mean, I'm just imagining the video to this mug, and it's just like, baby, what is actually going on with them type of vocals? What is happening, bro? Let me rewind this right quick, bro.
Thighs. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walked in, walked out.
He can't do that, bro. What is up with him, bro?
Walked out with the size. Man, don't let me know what the price.
Oh, nah. I just knew he wasn't gonna keep that up that whole line, bro. Like, come on now. What's really going on with this stuff, bro? He has to stop with this, bro. He talking about comedians. He the one that sound like he had comedians on this record at this point, bro.
What the fuck? I got hits, I got bucks, I got new paper cuts, I got friends, I got foes, but they hard sitting ducks back like a deluxe.
This song a little too funny for me, dog, because what's happening right now, baby?
What the fuck? I got hits, I got bucks, I got
What the fuck?
bucks, I got new paper cuts, I got friends, I got foes, but they hard sitting ducks. Hit his turf and get cracking, double back like a deluxe. Fuck a plate, there you go, beat him up, falling from a money tree.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. My default organic bounce is already West Coast, dog. West Coast, bro. My body already got that type of bounce, baby. That's just how I gotta rock, you.
Fuck out my thighs. Look good, but she don't got no ties.
Oh, Lord. It's funny, dog, but I definitely ain't trying to hear it.
Squabble up. Squabble up. Squabble up. Hold up. Where are you from?
It's this record is not for me, but I will say this is some house party type shit. Like this like what a DJ sound like they would be doing. You know what I mean? But it ain't nothing I'm trying to. It's like this some definitely West Coast house party type shit. This mainly for the West Coast right here, though. I'll definitely tell you. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a little too funny for me though.
Hey, Doc, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, nah. Bone coon from the west side to Senegal.
Nah, man, this nigga, dog, I don't even know. Dog, this nigga, Dot almost seemed like the most hilarious nigga on the face of earth, bro. Hold on, bro. What did he say back there, bro? This nigga said, nigga, no. Hold on, bro.
Tell me why the fuck you niggas fed if you criminal. Hey, Dot, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, no. Hey, Dot, why the fuck you niggas fed if you criminal? Hey, Dot, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, no. Boom from the west side.
Hey, Doc, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, no. This mug got me crying, bro. Who is this nigga Kendrick in these records, bro? This is Kung Fu Kenny. That nigga sound like he doing Kung Fu moves in the studio with this shit, boy.
It's a full moon, let the wolves out, I've been a dog. I feel good, get the fuck out my thighs.
You think he's still dissing that nigga, that nigga, Drizzy? It's a full moon. Let the wolves out. I've been a dog. For all the dogs, maybe still, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this nigga, I'm the type, if I'm that nigga, I'm dissing that nigga till he in the grave. That's just how I'm wired, but who knows, bro?
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. We with that fire, this a vibe. Do your dance, let him watch. She a fan, he a flop.
I'm trying to get this mug to see if it's gonna pick up at all. This mug he just kind of, I don't know, he kind of sound like he just, the register he's in just sounds like, it doesn't, I ain't gonna say it doesn't sound uninterested. And mainly it's like it's the entrance tone that he comes in with that's a little unattractive. It just sounds like, and he's been doing that for a while. Like if you go back to the Damn album, honestly, if you go back a while back in his catalog, I just thought it was more variation, but every record is kind of starting off with this really monotone, uninterested kind of voice tone. And for the listener, you're kind of just like, you know, is this mug gonna pick up? It's almost kind of talkative rather than anything rap, or even melodically pleasing. So that's just off rip. What I kind of noticed just off of the first 3 records, they kind of got that same out the gate interest. Eventually the record goes on and it kind of gradually grows into a more intense record, voice wise and even instrumentation wise. But the setup is getting a little too redundant.
Well, concrete flowers grow. All day she only do what she know.
Oh yeah, see, it's a certain, like when this person first came on, I didn't know it was SZA. But SZA got so many unique style vocals and notes she hit. I mean, you just know it's her from off rip. Like, I mean, when she hit that certain, like the subtle vibratos, oh yeah, baby. You got me going. I'm good after that one.
Weekends, get it popping on the low. Better days coming for sure. What's up to me? I wouldn't get it. Nobody's no sympathy.
I didn't need Kendrick vocal back there. I didn't. It's almost a little disrespectful when you try to add an undertone. If you're not breezy as someone of that caliber, I don't need it. Just let SZA rock solo, baby. I don't need no other tone behind her.
Maybe you it's love, I'ma make you say love. I'm not even tripping.
Yeah, this is became something crazy now. He trying to pull off a duet with SZA is crazy. I don't get what's going on this record right now. He could have, this could have ended probably like 90 seconds ago. On that record, on that Luther record, I wish he would have protected the caliber of quality records we get when SZA and Kendrick link up. Cause that mug don't hold the smallest of candles to all the stars. Not even a bit. I mean, it started off cool. I was trying to see where it was gonna go, and it actually never took me to a place where I thought it may have taken me, being that SZA was on the record. You know what I mean? I think the decision making on that record was a little suspect for sure. Suspect for sure. Wasn't in the best interest of the listener at all. Cause to have the vocal up under that from Kendrick wasn't needed. And then just the format, it just kind of just felt like after he did what he did on the initial interest verse, she came on and it just felt like it just kept wrapping around. Like even if I'm not even recalling that correctly, that's what it felt like, because it was so many things that was just redundant in there. And he kind of, his vocal almost was on the bevy of all of the vocals she was singing. You know what I mean? The notes and records and lines she was singing. So, man, next record up though, Man at the Garden. I think this is the fourth one, right? Let's see. Yeah, Man at the Garden, number 4.
The respect and the accolades, lamping on the island, watching Castaway. I deserve it all for every.
I like that, boy. Anybody that know anything about Castaway, you rock with that. Napping on the island, watching Castaway. I'm with that shit. Shout out to Tom Hanks.
Good nigga that passed away, sent 2.5 million on the average day. I deserve it all. Keep my name by the world.
Send 2.5 million on the average day. I deserve it all. I just like how he coming off that shit. That's about all I'm rocking with right now, though.
I'm showing up as your friend, telling truths better than your next of kin. I said I deserve it all. While my ancestors sent me, bitch, I deserve it all.
What is up with him on this?
I deserve it all.
I feel like he losing his mind on this. Feel like he losing his mind on this record. All this deserving shit, nigga. Why do you deserve all this shit? Straight up. I mean, he almost losing his mental, it feel like, on this record. That's just a feeling. That's one thing. But if you really, you know what I mean? I could feel like that. I feel you on that.
A smile on my mama. Good health and good karma. Yeah, she deserves it all.
There we go.
A better life for my daughter. Made my son take it further than his father. Yeah, he deserves it all. A close relationship with God. Whisper to me every time I close my eyes. He say, you deserve it all. Just away from me.
This nigga, that is almost something. He does confuse you a little bit, though. He does, but that's reality, though. I will give him that grace and that bail. That's reality. You can feel all these emotions really validly. You know what I mean?
I burn this bitch down. Don't you play with me or stay with me. I'm crashing out right now. No one's safe with me. Just wait and see. More blood be spilling. It just paint to me. Flip a coin. Want the shameless me or the famous me? How annoying. Does it angers me to know the lames can speak? That's insane to me. It's important. I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me why you think you deserve the greatest of all time.
Talking to the universe right there. Let me run it back, though. He got in a different stratosphere on that. Whenever I told you, bro, but like that nigga come in with this low register tone. By the end of the record, that nigga is like Super Saiyan 80, my nigga. Like, bro, by the end of the record, dog, Kendrick turns into Super Saiyan 80, my nigga. Like, it seems like he come in level-headed, more sober-minded, and by the end of his records, he loses his mental, bro. He just turns into a nigga that's differently outside and inwardly, dog. Like, it's something different. He got the channeling on her. He had to bring a different voice in on this smug right here.
More blood be spilling. It just paint to me dangerously. Nothing changed.
I like that. More blood be spilling. It's just pink to me. That's crazy. I'm with that. Any nigga that talk like that, I rock with right there.
Flip a coin. Want the shameless me or the famous me? Paint to me dangerously.
I like that. I do like how he getting in this bag right here, though.
Nothing changed with me. Still got pain in me. Flip a coin. Want the shameless me or the famous me? How annoying.
Nigga almost sound like M on this one right here. He start getting in the M bag on this one. Nigga start turning into an M9 bomb.
Still got
I want to go back to the paint.
I'm crashing out right now, no one's safe with me. I did it with integrity and niggas still try hate on me. And it just painted me dangerously. Flip a coin, want the shameless me or the famous me?
Flip a coin, you want the shameless me or the famous me? I'm with that. I'm with the nigga. You been shameless all life, it sound like, my nigga.
Annoying, doesn't angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe. That's the same to me.
Ooh, I do like that. I like what he did. The more I start to rap into this, it's what he say. I think it's lame to me. Let me get it back.
On the origins of the lames angers me to know annoying. Doesn't angers me to know the lames. How annoying does it anger me? How the shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe? That's the same to me. The shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe? That's the same to me. Shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe? That's the same to me. Shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe? That's the same to me. It's important.
Yeah, I feel that though, because where rap, where anything is almost, we all got mics, we all can jump behind something and get on here streaming, talk to niggas as if we experts, and sometimes or most times the niggas is doing that, giving opinions, don't even care about the origins of why niggas do this shit, where it started and came from. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's why I've always, at least on anything I'm stamping, bro, putting my name on platform wise, cats I bring in, the things that I do on my anything. Like it goes through a filter system of like, do you actually take this seriously? Do you actually have a certain passion? Like it's a certain threshold of like cats, almost anything for me, they got to meet in order for me to take what they saying seriously, to consider it, to actually give weight to their opinions. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel them with that, bro, especially with the internet. I mean, anybody could get on this mug and just, you know what I mean? Cats that's inside the culture, outside the culture, don't know nothing from nothing, because you can always just look up some nigga, act like you know what it is about, and just study other niggas and act like you really, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that though. I would love to have the conversation with Datum, just like, you know, some of the people, you know, he may be actually, speaking on that angers him as to why they giving their opinions on rap, hip hop, black culture, hip hop culture. I would more so say he's speaking about. But I feel that, bro. I feel that to a certain essence. I think it's a gift and a curse, the fact that it's exposed to so many people. We want to see it expand, but the opinions sometimes that get prioritized or highlighted to the top, it can be from people that don't even actually care about the origins or, you know, actually from that culture. And I ain't saying you gotta be from it, but it is a different respect level when you are.
I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me why you think you deserve the greatest of all time, motherfucker.
Honestly, these records I love these records for what I do right here. Like that makes records that make me want to talk all day. Like, talk wise, right? Like he makes records and he says things and he brings things to the front of the conversation that make you want to talk about, which is dope, right? But I think like music for the most part for me, bro, it is a more entertainment space, entertainment digesting or digestion more than it is as a convert. Like for me, it's hard because I love both. I mean, I got podcasts I do this shit for, off of the music, off of just the music alone. But if I'm not doing a podcast, if I'm not reacting, I don't like, and your music is that kind of serving. Like that's how I digest your music. That's how I experience your music, or what it provokes me to want to do. It's you know, it's not getting played that much outside of this environment, like this platform of me reacting or doing a podcast or getting somebody's opinion. His music is great for that. And I think music should do some of that. But when I think about the other ear, right? Like I think you listen to music a couple different ways. In entertainment, in vibe and feel. Like emotionally, I'm not tied to anything that's been said, to most of the stuff that's been said. He's had moments, but more than anything, he's been piquing my interest mentally. He's been piquing my intelligence. He's been You know what I mean? Like it's more of that. I'm not feeling, you know what I mean? Maybe this is what this album is about. But honestly, I can say that for a lot of his music. I will say that. I just had to get that off, bro, while I was at the top of mind.
Say now, murder by my end. Big face Buddha, get my peace from within. Spin, let the honorary walk for the win, for the win. You crashed out.
I ain't gonna lie, man. It's too much going on in this nigga music on this album, bro. Like with him. You know what I mean? Like this nigga, I'm not saying he's done this, but I feel like he's still in that bag of what he was doing that beef. Like it almost, and I ain't gonna lie, bro, a lot of them records, when he gets to this portion of or his artistry, I don't be feeling, bro. It's just, it's almost ugly music. Like that's the only way I can describe what I'm listening to right now. Like nigga, it sounds crazy what he do. Like just listen to this, bro. You gotta almost imagine him like making the ugly face making this music, bro.
Hey now, say now, murder by my end. Big face Buddha, get my peace from within. To all my dirties in the pen, let the...
I ain't gonna lie. If you know anything about Tyga, this sound like some old Tyga shit. Like that tone. He coming in with that Tyga shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like this shit, even the beat right now, and yeah, honestly, it does. I ain't gonna lie. I know niggas gonna find that disrespectful that I'm comparing this nigga to Tyga, but hey, Tyga had a sound and a tone that was very distinctive to who he is as an artist.
1002, 1004. The black Noah had just strangled me a goat.
What is going on? It's like this. I ain't gonna lie. This sounds like a victory lap album. Like let me just put out some shit and gloat one more time for y'all about what I just got done doing, nigga. And because of that, the division that it caused for anybody that showed their colors, this is also for y'all too. Like I ain't saying this is only, but if you know what happened, bro, and everybody I'm sure does, it sounds like a victory lap album. Like let me just show y'all niggas like it honestly it's given you can look at this two ways. It's given what I'm saying right now for sure, like victory lap. Like let me gloat, let me show y'all niggas like almost kind of like I told y'all niggas spirit. Like y'all thought this nigga was who he said he was, even though his music was whatever it is. Like I showed y'all what that nigga was, and he never could really rock with me. He never could really fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm proving that, and I'm like smearing it in y'all face now. So I heard that a lot. I mean, that's just all over this album right now. 5 records in for sure. But I also heard that he's kind of like talking to other people that show their true colors due to the division that beef caused. And he's kind of sticking it to them as well. And it's crazy because I feel like that's happening on both sides. Like Drizzy, I mean, I feel like it was obvious that happened on Drizzy side for sure, but I didn't know this was how Kendrick would feel in the aftermath. Like I feel like he, if anybody, should have been the person that was kind of like in a more euphoric, just joyful spirit. Not euphoric, that's too strong of a word for what I'm trying to say, but just a more like gratitude, joyful space and just positive energy. Like I feel good, like, cause I feel like a lot of people wrapped around him and showed him love and was on his side. Like if we was saying who chose side and who had more to choose on what side they went to, it would be Kendrick's side in my estimation. So yeah, it's kind of ironic that he's kind of like that's a big takeaway. I'm getting 5 records in this record still. This ain't cool. I ain't gonna lie though. This ain't cool right here though. He's been, and I just don't like how he's doing this stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's like I said, he's thought provoking. He's provoking thoughts and things of that nature, bro. But the experience from a musical consumption, like how am I rocking with it, vibing with it? Like how am I just feeling about the music? It isn't giving much for me. I think if I look at this track list so far, the only record that I feel like musically that actually was waking me up and making me like really rock to it from like it being not just a bop, but a record I'm really rocking with, like that I show a lot of fondness or favor of, is the intro, Whacked Out Murals. Everything after that up until this point still has been like on the like disappointing side of how I'm feeling about these records and albums as far. Whacked Out Murals, I actually was liking more of that for sure. I'll say the end of Man at the Garden, but overall it was a interesting experience. But I say this more thought provoking. Hence that rant I went on last track. So let's just try to get to these records though.
I done slid on a back street, heavy on the Parmesan, everyday tax season. What the?
Again, bro, he came in with that real low monotone type shit, bro. As this record is progressing, what is he doing, y'all? That nigga doing that same shit. Like, he gotta stop doing that, bro. That's crazy. That formula gotta die, bro.
Now say now.
I don't know what's going on. This album is kind of, I don't know what's really going on.
I'm way too important to ever let you slide on me. I seen the aliens hold hands.
Even jumped out on smokers.
She mean mugging niggas dirty too important. If they talk about playing ball, me and my team gon' get the scoring. In real life, niggas know. Hey, I tied it up my body at a pin level 4. Hey, I sharpened up a knife and came home to a blow.
I don't know who that is, but I definitely would have appreciated a Blueface feature on this one. This shit is Blueface-esque all the way, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie, I was ready for that record to be done, bro. Next record though, Reincarnated. Let's get it. Sound like that nigga with the Pac studio on this one.
Got this fire burning in me from within. Concentrated thoughts on who I used to be. I'm shedding skin.
This mug gotta be a record paying homage to Pac for sure. That nigga even coming in like Pac. Hold up.
Every day a new version of me, a third of me demented, cemented in pain, juggling the pros and cons of fame. And so I'm off in the sunset, searching for my place in the world, with my guitar up on my hip. That's the story unfurled. I'm in blues, the women that fell to their feet, so many to choose. But I manipulated power as I lied to the masses. Reincarnated.
I actually like this record better than like the last couple records we just heard, but he just rapping a little bit like that nigga almost rapping a little too angry for me, bro. Like he gotta come down a little bit. Like, the story even sounds like a bit of a struggle, but it don't sound like, nigga, it don't sound like you need to be that mad. You know what I mean? Like it just, this nigga, bro, I'm like, what is going on, my boy? Like, is life all right, my nigga? Like, man.
Another life, it placed me as a black woman in the chitlin circuit. Seductive vocalist, as the promoter hit the curtains. Had everything I wanted, but I couldn't escape addiction. Heroin needles had me in fetal position. Rich discipline never been my sentiments, I needed drugs. To me, an 8-ball was like penicillin, fuck love. Died with syringes pinched in me, reincarnated.
Like that nigga describing somebody like Whitney Houston.
Life is Kendrick Lamar, a rapper looking at the lyrics to keep you in awe. I'm yelling, Father, did I finally get it right? Everything I did was selfless. I need change. Son, you do well, but your heart is closed. I can tell residue that linger from your past creates itself. Perfect, I got urges, but I hold them down. But your pride has to die. Okay, Father, show me how. 100 institutions paid. Okay, tell me more. I put 100 hoods on one stage. Okay, tell me more. I'm peace in LA, but you love war. No, I don't. Oh, yes, you do. How can they forgive when there's no forgiveness in your heart? I could tell you where I'm going. I could tell you who you are. Fell out of heaven cause you was anxious. Didn't like authority, only searched to be heinous. Our greatest music director was you. It was colors, it was pinks, it was reds, it was blues. And I sent you down to earth cause you was broken. Rehabilitation, not psychosis. Here now, centuries you manipulated man with music. Embodied you as superstar, village views. And all I ever wanted from you was love and approval. I learned a lot, no more putting these people in fear. Gifts to bring understanding. For heavy man, woman, and child, how much can you vow? I found my life just to live one in harmony now. Let's rejoice where we at. I rewrote the devil's story just to take our power back. Carnated.
That was tough. Artistically, that probably was the best record on her thus far. That was tough. I will give him, it's not the best experience from him. Like I said, I'm gonna keep on saying it. Like, it's not the best, this is Lamar, man. That's just Kendrick music. For me personally, it's not the best experience from a music enjoyment and vibe and feeling, but from a thought-provoking, from an intelligence peaker, bro, like making you think, it does do that. You know what I mean? It's just that I'm not more wired that way when it comes to music. It's more of an entertainment and an enjoyment, like music-wise, than it is just me trying to sit here and think. When I'm coming to music, I'm not always coming here for that. Most of the time, I'm not. Because I'm not sitting down here in front of her giving thoughts in front of a camera. I'm not doing that. But when I am, it serves this well. And so I like what he did on that record, bro. It for me, it provoked and prompted a lot of thoughts. As he got to the last verse, I definitely started to notice that he was telling the story of Lucifer and the Satan story and falling out of heaven, him being an angel of music and things of that nature. If you know anything out as far as scripture, all that checks out. So which is dope. It's dope. Like I said earlier, bro, that's one of the dopest things I've been loving to see in Dot's journey is just, his awareness, his interest and seeming like his curiosity and his fake journey is really struck a certain curve and made a certain turn. But it really, outside of that, it kind of really made me think like, he was telling that story, personalizing it with him, but also personalizing it and giving and basically saying the music industry is that as a whole, how it's corrupted almost everything. Like it's the purpose of music, the purpose of why people express themselves has a lot of great things in it. But it's kind of been corrupted in the gifts that come from that, the blessings come from that have been corrupted. Just as Satan, Lucifer, the devil, falling out with God, being sent to earth and continuing that literally through music. You know what I mean? Like it's been, I try to downplay it, the effects of music, but if I'm 100% honest, the effects of music, I think unconsciously, we don't really give it the real, we don't really give it the real honest impact that it actually has on all of us. You know what I mean? And I never really looked at it from a global world like destruction standpoint, the way I feel like he just described it in this record. But maybe it is, bro. Maybe it is. I just don't know because it's just so different in different cultures. Like, and I don't know if I can put that blanket on every genre like I can, like I feel like it's more prevalent in rap, hip hop, maybe even just urban music as a whole. That would be what I'm mostly expertise in or expert in, with just the notoriety and the awareness of what all is being said and put out in rap and hip hop. But I'm pretty well versed in other genres. And then when I begin to think about the content and the messaging and kind of what way is things being pushed, like either upwardly, like uplifting, or downwardly where it's degrading. It's nowhere near as much as it is in those genres versus what it is in rap. So that will make me question that. But I don't know. I'm just kind of just picking off of what I kind of heard through this song, and being that Lamar is a very metaphorical dude, telling, like trying to give more, trying to have people dissect things more than just one way when it comes to the bars and the songs and the presentations he's presenting his music. So I think that's a possibility for sure.
Somebody gotta do it. I take the G-Pad. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What? Alpha and Omega, bitch. Welcome home. This is not a song.
I've laughed way too much on this album, though. That's the one thing is just kind of alarming. Like, why am I laughing so much to this nigga music, bro? Like, it's a little too comical, dog. Like, I know he probably really, I don't know, dog. Like, I know for me, bro, I'm a humorous nigga. Maybe other niggas just don't laugh as much when they come to this music, but this nigga tone is just hysterically hilarious, bro. Like, no kissy. I don't be fake laughing. I don't even like fake laughing for real, bro, honestly. So when I'm laughing, I'm laughing. And I'm doing that way too much in this nigga music, bro.
If you need correction, that's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. It's not enough. Somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-Pad.
The one thing I will say about this, like I'm more than halfway finished in this album now. The one thing that I feel like I can say this now. The one thing I will say is the production on this album, bro, is definitely not for me. But more than that, I want to say is too reminiscent of Not Like Us. And that's probably just a reflection of just what West Coast music sound like, for sure. Very distinctive, very obvious that it's a West Coast record. But what he's even doing on it, like his performance is too reminiscent of what he done on Not Like Us. And honestly, bro, to keep it a bean, Not Like Us, biggest moment of 2020-24, one of the biggest moments in all of hip hop history. But I kid you not, bro, that record it's annoying from several different ways for me. I'm not taking away the haymaker it was. I'm not taking away the success it went on to garner. I'm not taking away the moment it created. I'm just saying, for my musical taste buds, my musical ears, that is enough for me to never hear another West Coast record ever again. I could just hear that record because it consumes all of the other West Coast records in one. Like, just from the bigness of it, the success of it, and the production of it, like even him. But him on this album, steady reminding us of that same type of sound and performance that he gave on that record, Not Like Us. It's a bit played out. It makes you a bit tiresome of that record and these records on this album. And it's just like, did you create? But if you do the history and if you trail back the timeline when he said, I forgot what record, but I want to say that Kendrick in one of those diss records said something like, I think it was on Not Like Us. I think the nigga said he got like 10 more records, like 10 more diss records. I don't know. Maybe all these records was in that same realm of vote music in time that he created Not Like Us, and these were records made around that. Like, in my mind, I would say that's probably a safe guess. And if they came out at the time that he dropped Not Like Us, and I felt like he could have just dropped. I feel like this album is kind of being split in two. Like, I feel like he's playing heavy, which is smart. I will say that that's a smart thing to do from a regional standpoint and perspective. Play towards your audience, play towards your crowd, play towards what's a strength for you at that time, which it has been at that time a while ago, though. I don't know if I necessarily would do that now. You maybe could have gave us maybe one or extra one outside of Not Like Us or something like that, but to continue with as much as he's doing on this album, it is a bit redundant. It is a bit old. It is a bit, we're over that sound because that sound has been drilled in radios and drilled on the internet and sounds to the point where I can't deal with another record. And it's also, I can't deal with him performing that same way that performing his verses and choruses on her the same way he did on Not Like Us. You know what I mean? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that voice, like it's all like that, basically. You know what I mean? It's very comical, which is the reason why I'm laughing so much. And this is like, because I was laughing, bro. I literally died when I heard Not Like Us. I thought it was parody. No kidding. I thought Not Like Us was a parody, bro. Because it was that funny. It was that like, is this like what he actually came out and put out? It's 2024 though, bro. Like, you just got to create a great moment, bro. And that's it. Like, I feel like moments trump music. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I like that. I like that. I feel like moments trump music. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly, bro, that's what Not Like Us was. Like, from an artistic standpoint, bro, Not Like Us is not like that. I like that too. Hold on. Let me get my gunshot. You know what I'm saying? Not Like Us is not like that. I'm coming off the dome with these mugs, baby. I'm just keeping it a being. I feel like Moments Trump music and Not Like Us is not like that. You hear me, dog? Boy, about blew up 2 shots at that point, boy. Anyways, dog, let me try to finish this mug, but I'm keeping it a being, though. I ain't even just trying to troll. I 100% actually believe what I'm saying right there is true. Like, I believe Moments Trump music and the song Not Like Us was honestly not like that. And that's a double entendre. That's a double entendre. Now that's a double one. That nigga Drizzy should have used that shit, nigga. Not Like Us was not like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna break that one down. That should be pretty easy, but it's hard. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say that, like, these records are too reminiscent of that, bro. And it's one thing to have the same production and to play into the West Coast regional card, but it's another thing to keep on giving us those same type of performances that are very reminiscent of what you did on Not Like Us, bro. So yeah, I mean, that's a big takeaway. Only a minute into this record.
From the music, nigga, what? Hey, turn this TV off.
Like that sound like that. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck him up. Wop. Like he doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's a little
act out. Yeah, I did that. Hey, what's up, though? I hate a bitch that's hating on a bitch.
You
and
see what I mean? Like that form of like that. Yeah, I did that. Like A minor. You know what I mean? Like it's all too reminiscent of that. It's all too similar. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't think I'm going OD on this, bro. I'm just keeping it a bean. Like that mug is just too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's almost the same record. You know what I mean? Literally. Like, this mug could be like, Not Like Us Part 2 for the most part. Literally, bro.
Bitch, I cut my granny off and she don't see it how I see it. Got a big mouth, buddy.
Now, that bar is crazy, nigga. That nigga think he know me because he knew me as a kid, since a kid. I cut my grandma off if she don't see it how I see it. That's just crazy. That nigga crazy. He crazy for that line. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's crazy Rick right there. Thank you. Thank you. Please change it up.
Hey.
I want to see now. This is what's playing. What is going on, Dusty? This is what I'm talking about. What is going on? What is going on this album, bro? Like, this is what I'm talking. Like, bro, this is what I'm talking about, bro. What are we experiencing on this album, bro? Like, bro, this nigga, he hops on the beat and just yells out, "Mustard!" Now, nigga, what is actually going on, bro? This is just, oh my, I don't know, man. This nigga, this what I'm talking about, bro. Like, I don't know I know what to take away from this shit, but it's just like, it's a little too funny for me, bro. This shit sound like this shit sound like a screenplay or some shit, bro. Like, this mug a little too comical, bro. Like, I don't know. I thought he really was finna, you know what I mean? Like, switch it up. But this nigga, he just elevating the madness.
That but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself.
This right here is crazy. I knew it was about to get funny doing that. Hey.
Nigga second back, turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
This ain't cool.
Turn his TV off, turn his TV
this
off.
Ain't cool.
Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
He talking about turn his TV. I'm about to turn this shit off in a minute, man. He playing. He talking about turn this. This ain't cool, bro. It just sound like he playing too much for me, dog. Like, and I don't even care how, like I'm being, I ain't even say this before I went into this album, bro. I ain't look at what other niggas was saying. I seen a few things here and there, but I made sure I kind of stayed off the internet as much as I can to not really get no opinions. For me, bro, this shit ain't cool. This like, it's not cool, bro. And you can't keep telling me I gotta hear this in the right place, bro, because I done sat here for too many videos, over 500 plus, bro. And I don't have to do that with records that are just flying any space. I don't got to do that, bro. I don't have to be at a concert or at a Super Bowl performance to experience this at the level I should to appreciate it. This nigga need to be making records where I could just sit right here and listen to this mug and be like, yo, it's fine. It's too many records where it's like, yo, I'm sitting right here and this shit sound crazy funny to me. Like, it sound like parody. I'm not lying, bro. This shit sound like parody music, bro. No Kizzy, bro. He talking about turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Nigga, I'm about to turn this shit off, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. And like I said, maybe because it's such a different kind of experience from Kendrick. Like, it was one thing, like, if the way I used to feel about records like To Pimp a Butterfly, and I had the type of opinion of, I don't necessarily enjoy this from a music and consumption enjoyment and feeling like the vibe and the just the enjoyment of like, yo, this mug a banger, this a hit, or this is, I could play this mug in the whip, I could go out to this mug, I could go to the gym. I mean, like, all these different, when it was a lacking of that on the albums like To Pimp a Butterfly, it was due to the artistry being at an elite level, either lyrically, storytelling ability, skill set, overall just concept of the album. Like, it was due to that, which I can somewhat deal with that better or easier because it's still due to the artistry being at a high level. But all high level or lyrical isn't the best, like lyricism at a high level always isn't experienced the best via music, but it may just be experienced best just literally just comprehending it and just noticing how a dude pen is such at a high level, but maybe the delivery or the production it was delivered on really didn't suit my ear well. Like Nas, a lot of his early albums, pen was crazy, bars were crazy, storytelling and concepts were crazy, but a lot of times there was a disconnect between his region and the rest of the world because the production just wasn't jiggy enough. It just wasn't not as biased as the people that were in that region. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think about how people were consuming his music, bro. And for me, bro, this mug right here just feels like it's almost like it's not due to that though. It's not due to high quality music or high artistry being displayed. It seemed like it's due to this nigga just laughing and playing around almost. And I know I'm not wholeheartedly believing that's what's occurring on this record with Dot, because I know he actually is one of the niggas I look in the game and I say, yo, this nigga actually cares about the product. He actually cares about the experience that the fans are having while they're listening to his music. He actually wants to have people leave his music and take away things with them. You know what I mean? So that was the sentiment that I always got on the earlier albums. But what I'm hearing and experiencing right now, and even what I experienced doing the beef, doing those records, are very different. They're very different. You know what I mean? Like, similar feelings that I'm feeling, but for different reasons.
Ain't no other king in this rap thing, they siblings. Nothing but my children. One shot, they disappearing. They be getting thrown like it was pass interference. Padlock around the building. Crash tag with a boner pick like it was sea bass. So when I made it out, I made about 50K from a show. Trying to.
And see, I'm appreciating what he doing right now, but I'm 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the record before I actually get to a part where I feel like he's actually displaying quality. He's actually not playing no more. I'm actually not laughing anymore. Like, that's just too long for me to have to sit here and wait to get to you actually feeling like you rapping your ass off now. You actually coming with a flow that's at that Kendrick caliber level that we used to. That's tough, bro. I shouldn't have to wait 2 minutes and 40 seconds to get to a part of the song where I feel like he actually put it into real Kendrick caliber gear. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be like that because he rapping now.
Trying to show niggas the ropes before they hump from a rope. I'm prophetic. They only talk about it, how I get it. Heads, I gotta take the level, my aesthetics. Hurry up and get your muscle up. We have to apply metric. Nigga ran up by the cowards, tell it. Walking New Orleans with the etiquette, the LA yelling.
All that shit right there between these two crazy ass mustard yelling parts was crazy. But everything before that mustard and probably everything after this last mustard we hear right now, you could pretty much throw out. You could pretty much throw out all other shit up outside of that verse, and I would be pleased with that verse. But it doesn't come until 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the record. That's crazy. The experience for a listener, bro, that is literally annoying. You know what I mean? I got to get through this haywire ass type of record to get to the actually meat in the bone of this record. That's crazy, bro. And most niggas not doing that, bro. Typically, bro, you got to get niggas within the first 5 to 10 seconds almost. what I'm saying? Almost before you even get to the either nigga even rapping. So that's crazy to me, bro.
Oh, man. Niggas, they gotta do it. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off.
See,
Turn
this
this TV off.
I'm about to turn this off, dog. I gotta turn that shit off. I can't hear that no more. Niggas gotta get back to making some hooks that niggas actually can sit here and listen to. That shit, turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Nigga, turn that shit off.
Fading red, 3 more back to back. Oh, you haven't? Then shut the fuck up and keep it rap.
Again, bro, he sounds uninterested. It's that same monotone, low shit. You know, maybe he actually doesn't elevate on this record because it seems a little more melodic, but who knows, bro? I'm fucking with that right there. I'm fucking with that. Whoever that is right there, I'm rocking with that shit. You can take all that Kendrick shit out now and just get me right to the hook. Again, I'm 1 minute and 9 seconds before I get to a part I actually like.
Dreamers and the jets outside in this bitch. West side streets don't love you, better respect the code. Ain't no sleeping, my niggas on guard.
When I walk in, oh yeah, bring that.
You looking at a bad bitch, nothing less.
Walk.
I ain't gonna lie. Some of these records though, it feel like they had already, and that's normal. Niggas submit songs, they already got skeletons to them. They got like a foundation, and they give it to a big artist. He comes in and just applies, put whatever he feels that will make it his own. And it's telling on some of these records that was a record that definitely felt like that was the case and scenario for sure. I think the 9th record we on right now is called Peekaboo. Let's get to it.
Playing peekaboo, popping out. You better not smell my name. Peekaboo.
That's what I don't know, bro. I really don't know. That's what I almost just gotta believe what I said a couple songs ago. Whenever I say that, bro, about this mug being just almost purdy, like I don't really get what's going on, bro. It's too many instances in this album where I feel like I'm listening to somebody that's playing, and that's crazy. Speaking on a nigga like Kendrick Lamar to say a statement or have a take like that, because he's very much not like how I imagine Kendrick in my mind is not this type of guy, not this type of artist. That's what I'm really trying to communicate here. It feels like there's too much playing around on this album. And honestly, I'm keeping the same energy. Anytime I felt this type of feeling with Drake, or honestly, I don't really got too many other niggas I feel like they play like that. Like anybody that follow this channel know how I am with Tory. I don't feel like Tory play, but he don't play like that. He don't play like that. Drake has played like that, and Kendrick is playing like that right now. You know what I mean? Like, so if it was any one of because I know niggas will come at me and say something like, yo, you just saying that because of so-and-so. I said at the beginning of this stream, bro, at the beginning of this reaction, I'm a Kendrick fan, but most of my fandom for Kendrick is mainly on the appreciation side of what he does. Not because I actually love the music, right? It's more so because of the artistry display that he puts on, the presentations, the concepts that he brings, the envelope pushing he always does each album. In that last statement I just made, this album to me is not fitting of that type of thing that's happening, what he usually does. Pushes the envelope. This album feels like it's a lot of playing going on. Like, and I'm being 100% for real, bro. Like I'm trying to hold anybody that know me know how much I like to laugh, right? How much I naturally, organically laugh. So if I'm over here holding back laughter due to what's organically humorous and funny to me, it's the only takeaway I could come away with, bro, is like, what's going on with this album, bro? It's too much playing. Like even just looking at the song called Peekaboo, like you don't judge it off the title, but when you get to the song and you're hearing what he's doing here, you know, it sounds like it's playing Peekaboo, Peekaboo, or TV, turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Like some of this stuff, bro, is so elementary and low, like standards and quality for a Kendrick Lamar album. To me, it's mind blowing. You know what I mean? It's mind blowing. It's baffling. It's like, it's hard to really digest. And let me make sure y'all are not hearing something I'm not saying. Another takeaway, because I can hear what people can take away from what I'm saying while I'm saying it. What people can hear I'm saying is because Kendrick has a certain standard of quality, right? Because what people can hear me saying is because Kendrick has a certain level and a certain standard of quality, for him to be doing this, it's unacceptable. One could say that, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it's anybody else that was putting this out, it wouldn't matter if it was my favorite artist or not, or somebody else that this is typically they artistry. It would not be good to me, bro. You know what I mean? The only thing I could say is maybe my criticism would be a little less more because they already don't showcase anything of any other caliber than what they're presenting than what they're presenting with what I'm listening to at that time. Like if that's their original sound and their music and they normally produce that kind of content or quality, I may be a little bit less critical because I don't have any high standards for them. But period, I would still think it was low quality. I just wouldn't be as critical of it. I probably wouldn't even be giving it attention. Kendrick Lamar is a household name. Kendrick Lamar is a legend in hip hop. Kendrick Lamar is a part of this big three. Kendrick Lamar just came out on top of a rap battle, taking out the biggest rap artist of all time in Drake. So when you have that type of resume, when you have that type of timeline of events that's happened, and you come to an album after him making a flawless, countless amount of moves consecutively back to back, and you present this, it's disappointing, bro. It's disappointing to get to an album where you feel like it's a lot of playing going on. And I'm saying that and I ain't even laughing. And Lord knows I laughs a lot. And this album is too much playing for me, bro. It's just, I would love, and that's honestly, I would love to know how, and maybe, and let me say this, because I just want to put thoughts out there that other people can speak into, as I'm putting these out. Maybe because if I'm thinking about this, right, I'm thinking about just West Coast music, which I'm not a connoisseur of West Coast music at all. By no stretch of the imagination am I a connoisseur of West Coast music. If anything, my favorite West Coast artist up until this point probably was Nipsey Hussle, who didn't sound like a West Coast artist. The Game, and that's back on the documentary album. That era of Game was my favorite, which isn't the most West Coasty sounding type of project. And so I'm giving y'all that context because I'm just trying to demonstrate or illustrate, I should say, the possibility of maybe this is a disconnect for me with how I experience and how I view West Coast music. Maybe West Coast music historically and traditionally has this element of instrumentation and performance by the artist that is a bit humorous. And maybe in that region, that's seen as somewhat quality, somewhat of high caliber music. It goes back to what I was saying about Nas. Nas, his early albums were great presentations of lyrical ability, storytelling, artistry from what he can actually do on the mic. But when it came to his production, there was a huge disconnect with the East Coast and his music. Like the East Coast and where he was from and his music and the rest of the world. Definitely in the West, definitely down South and definitely in the Midwest. Because just that production isn't universal enough. And honestly, maybe maybe West Coast music isn't universal enough. At least not explicitly. It can, not to this degree. And the elements aren't universally enough because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking I'm listening to something that somebody is playing on. Seriously. I'm saying that 100% seriously right now, bro. Like it's too many times and instances in this album where I feel like Kendrick Lamar is playing. And I know I'll probably say that too many times, but I'm saying that because I really want to drive the emphasis on how serious I am when I say that, bro. Like, and to piggyback on the idea of West Coast having this element of just kind of like it being a humorous, kind of funny, kind of sarcastic and animating this to its sound, both production and performance by the artist, are the two elements that I'm really forming my take on this from. when I think of somebody like an E40, I believe E40 is he's a Bay artist, San Diego, or wherever the Bay is. And I already know just LA. That's where I vacate to, or that's where I travel to for work and other things. But I believe that's all. I know San Diego is in Cali, but I believe that's all up there at the top of Cali. And when you think of E40 music, it's almost the most comical artist I've heard all time. Like the nigga ad-libs, however he do it. I feel like I gotta look funny to make that nigga music. You know what I mean? Like, no kissy, bro. Like, I feel like I gotta look funny in order to make the music E40 make. You know what I mean? Like, and I said this earlier when listening to this album. It was a record on her where I felt like you had to look ugly delivering that mug because of the type of tones it was given. Was like, I gotta kind of structure my face and voice to produce this type of tone or whatever this sound is. It has to be resulted from like an ugly kind of face expression or delivery. Like I just did that E40 ad-lib. Like it without even me thinking, or without me even, if I never saw E40 and how he did that, I would think I would have to do it that way. And so yeah, man. And look, man, I'm very well-rounded in music. Not just from a listening standpoint, but from a producer, actually being a producer, actually, having the education on this, actually having the degrees on this. And, it's never been a point in my studies. It's never been a point in my experiences or, my sessions or any of this where, something has been bluntly said about West Coast music being and having this element of like humorous, funniness, sarcasm, animated, element to the degree where I feel like it's made me arrive to this thought to saying, is this historically what it's like? And so, yeah, man, that's a huge takeaway in this album for me, man. I'm not even at the end of this album, but that is constantly revisiting my thoughts and coming to top of mind when I'm listening to this album, bro. So, man, this is long-winded, but let's try to finish this.
From the back, I told her move her hands. Peekaboo. They slide my thumb in where her at. Peekaboo.
They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. I'm saying like, bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand. The type of skits
I'm literally trying to be graceful with this mug, bro. But it's too much. I feel like he playing with me now. Pause. It just seems like, what the fuck are we listening to, bro? Like, no kizzy. Like, I ain't saying that's the entire album. It was, as you can see, if you watch this reaction, bro, there were times where I was really rocking. You know what I mean? Like, I believe the end of Man at the Garden, the end of that, when he started talking about, it's insane. It angers him that these niggas can talk on the origins that he's breeded from and all this other shit. Like, he's had moments. Trust me, he has, which is what I expected. But it doesn't outweigh nearly as much as he's doing this type of shit and me having this takeaway. It's just like, man, you know what I mean? It just feel like the nigga playing too much for me.
Absol in the corner, mumbling raps, fumbling packs of Blackie Mouse, crumbling kush till he cracked a smile.
I like this record. Love the storytelling, I love that.
Carrying my ops and allies, but I done a half job communicating feelings of being stagnant. Who put the West back in front of shit?
Tell him Peso did it.
Hey, I'm tripping and I'm loving it.
Tell him Peso did it.
You see, he still. Let me just stop, bro. Man, I'm really trying not to be that guy, bro. I'm really coming here to listen to the music, bro, with all like good intentions and looking for some music, bro.
Like wine. Hi, have you ever?
Tell him hit it, did it.
Hey, who showed you how to run a blitz?
Tell him hit it, did it.
Scared of forever, nothing else is gonna pass. Scared that whenever you're on me, scared that
fully trust you, fabrication, had discussion, then you blocked me, I said fuck you.
Nigga, what? Just gotta let you know.
You are spontaneous, firecracker, plus our love is dangerous.
There you have it, man. What is the name of this album? GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Off of RIP. Oh, man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel kind of tired listening. And it's not even that late. It's only 10:30 around me right now, so it ain't due to just nigga just... Like, I've done reactions, nigga, at 1 in the morning and ain't felt, this exhaustion. But it was quite of a listen, bro. It was quite of a lot of things. I'm gonna try to keep this concise because I've kind of already said like my biggest takeaways from this album. But yeah, man, I feel like this album. I'm gonna say a couple things off rip. I feel like when you have a concise album, bro. When you have a concise album, only 12 records. You dang near can't have any lackluster mid songs or songs specifically with this album, songs that leave you like, this ain't for me. And it was it's like that statement and that feeling and that emotion. I found myself feeling that too often to the point where it couldn't just be that alone. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're just like totally disconnected. Now I want to lobby the possibility out there that it may, for the baby of this record, maybe a lot of that did exist for me. There was a major disconnect due to the regional difference in sound and production and performance. Being that this sounds like a lot of heavy West Coast influence makings of this album. All of that can be true. And that's the reason why I'm putting out there like maybe that is a possibility. It's just unfortunate because he's at the level where, he's consumed by the masses. Never will I ever try to hold somebody to the responsibility of appeasing to every crowd or even trying to appease to every crowd. I just think that kind of comes with the territory when you're that big because everybody's checking for you. So he's, that's something that's on his plate that he has to deal with when there's a difference in what people experience in most of his music, which honestly, bro, has already been a challenge. And now what he's doing now on this album, which I very much believe is up the alley of a West Coast sounding type of record. And with that, bro, I want to say I've heard people say all West Coast music sound the same. I try not to just throw that on any and everything when somebody says that about anything, when they say it's all the same. But if nonetheless, this album definitely reflected that all West Coast music predominantly sounds the same. And it's quite a lot to try to intake all together on one album. Give me a few songs here and there apart. I can't, because I'm now that I'm thinking about it, bro. Like in my generation, in my era, There's not one West Coast album that actually sounds like the West Coast style that I would say I've really ever listened to, like entirely. I'm saying like where you actually deem it or declare it a West Coast album or West Coast styled production project. There's not really one I have in mind that I can say I've listened to like that in this generation and in my time and era. And there's not one that I believe, if this is that I will believe that I can actually enjoy. Like the sound of West Coast music is just to think you can make an album with that being the predominant sound on that project. It's asking a lot. It's asking a lot of the consumer. It's asking a lot of someone that is outside of that region or coast. You know, I keep bringing up the Nas situation. Like, those, or anytime you make an album that I feel like is overwhelmingly a tough ask of the general and the masses, you're going to get some pushback. There's going to be some friction in how people receive the music. There's going to be some mixed emotions and mixed reviews about the music, because maybe there is an audience out there that is absolutely loving this. I haven't went out there and seen anybody's opinion. I said before this came out, anybody that follow this channel know that's what I do. I block out the noise, I block out the opinions, I block out the reactions to the best of my ability. And I didn't see a lot on this album. I just kind of seen really what the blogs and everybody was reporting about, as far as like him mentioning Wayne and him letting him down. I think I seen a couple other things, but it really wasn't much about the sound or anything else that would lead me to believe that this was what I was walking into. So that's a huge takeaway from me, man, is that I think there is a huge disconnect, and there will be a huge disconnect for a vast amount of people out there, with the regional bias in the production. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in a way that it's reflective of what production is on this album, and what comes with that. I think that'll exist for a lot of people. I also believe, I said earlier, like when you're only giving us 12 records for us to listen to on a project, you have to be flawless, and no record should be felt as wasteful, or I can skip this one. That's the one thing. That's the one thing that differentiate a regular album that may be anywhere between 15 to 18 songs versus a very short, concise album. Everything, to me, what you're telling me is I cut this down to the meat, to the stuff that I know for sure. I know is out of here, that are classics, either hits, great, either side B or whatever it is. Like, you've cut it down to what you feel is the very best. You're not playing the numbers game. You're not playing the quantity game. You're playing the quality game, which checks out for Kendrick Lamar pedigree, which checks out for Kendrick Lamar albums. That's what I expect. That does reflect him. It's just what was presented did not, to me. It did not. I felt like, I said it earlier, I felt like it was too much playing on this album. And what I mean by that specifically, I felt like the production was playing a lot. And not just playing, honestly, I feel like the production, honestly, a lot of it just was poor. It just wasn't up to par. Like, for great instrumentation, great beats, great songs being made just from the instrumentation alone. It wasn't a lot of that absolutely, I'm not even saying blew me away, but it just wasn't, for him to be dropping another album, a surprise album, coming off of what he just did. I felt like it was way up under the bar of what I expected. And to further that, to continue that on that comment of when I say there was too much playing on his album, that also goes for what he was doing performance-wise. I just felt like I'm not even going to say felt. It was too many instances where his delivery, what he was saying on this album, where it displayed like this element of just like sarcasm, animation, and playing around. And there's a way you can artistically do that. And he has. I do believe he actually has very much done similar things in other more unique artistic ways that still communicated and came across as quality music. That wasn't the case on this album. And honestly, I think the production almost, crystallizes this element of humor and playing around that I keep referencing on his album. Like I said, he's done it. He can do that. He's done it well. He's done it in the past. He's got into an animated bag to where it is respectfully, artistically well put together and done right. I feel like he did it on Man at the Garden. And I feel like he's done that in previous songs. You can go back to Swimming Pools. You can go back to a lot of his music. Other rappers like Eminem, they do this stuff. Him and I'm not Jid. Jid actually probably does have some of that, but Baby King, like all of that stuff, it's a certain element there that exists that is a little bit playful, that is a little bit animated, or even a lot of animation happening in the music, but it's still tastefully, respectfully done in the sense where it's producing high quality music. That wasn't the case for the performances on this album, and it wasn't reflected on this album, dog. For this GNX, I even can't stand that. GNX is crazy to me. But anyways, I'm not gonna go too crazy on the title, but yeah, that was like one of the biggest takeaways, man. Which I would love to hear the dialogue in the comments on that, on where that sits with y'all with, my comments on how much I feel this album had a playfulness and overly animatedness to it that didn't allow me to experience and enjoy it with very much possible intentions that he wanted the listener to enjoy it with. But it didn't allow me to on his album because I felt like it was all of that, what you would either want to call creative or creativity, but to me came off as a lot of humor and sarcasm and playfulness. It drowned out what could very much have been intended to be artistic talent showcased. It drowned all that out because it was just too overwhelming. The impression that was more of the impression I left with than anything else. You know what I mean? Like I say, he had moments on here. I'll still highlight the positive of what I feel about this album. If I'm just looking at this album and I'm telling you the records I like, off rip, just off of not even looking at the records, but just feeling like off of immediate reaction, immediate response, I feel like if it was 12 records, I feel like it was a total of 4 records collectively. And what I mean by that, I don't believe it was necessarily maybe 4 records entirely that I absolutely was loving, but the amount of moments and maybe even some records and all that collectively put together, I feel like equals to about 4 songs that I absolutely came away loving off this project. But if that's what I'm leaving with and it's 12 songs, that means there's 8 left, or 8 other pieces of music collectively put together that didn't even, I necessarily even came away with saying that it was good. I'm not going to go as far as it's saying it was just, there were moments though, bro. I got to be honest with y'all, bro. There were a lot of moments where I felt like, they were very, very reminiscent of how I felt initially when I heard Not Like Us. Like, I felt like it was some parody. I felt this was parody music. And the only reason why I combat that, because in that same record, he can turn the corner and very well showcase that this isn't that. But and one of the things I mentioned is that if I gotta wait 2 minutes and 40 seconds to get to the meat and the greatness of the song, what do I do when I'm not sitting here and I'm not reacting? And I'm not giving you the just due and diligence to listen to the music thoroughly all the way through, because I'm not listening to it to critique it. I'm listening to it to enjoy it. I'm listening to it to just hop in the car and drive around. Like, those are the moments and the things I'm thinking about that you necessarily won't get afforded if you're not in this context of grading, reviewing, and reacting to music. You know what I mean? Like, so that's pretty much all I got to say, man. I know I said plenty. While listening to the records from song to song. But again, I kind of walked down some of the ones that I actually felt were the better ones on the record. Definitely the intro, Whacked Out Murals. I like that one a lot. It was a little lengthy. Now that I know how the rest of the album sound, it doesn't necessarily make me want to run back to it, because it's really reminiscent of a lot of the stuff that he done on the other records, like that formula of just this really uninterested, low monotone entrance to the song. And it's, for that song, he almost kept the same flow the entire song. I think he switched up at the very end. But all in all, I think it still was a pretty solid record, or at least one of the better ones, I should say. So yeah, Whacked Out Murals. I think Man at the Garden is a solid record. I absolutely love the end of it. I love the message on what he was saying on there. I felt like he was really unfiltered, raw, and if anything, that's the record I kind of was feeling the most as far as like an emotional string being pulled or tied to the song. Reincarnated, most definitely one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite record on the album. I think my only critique for that one was that he sound like really angry. And Kendrick often sounds angry rapping in his music already, so that's a little redundant. But if I'm isolating that record by itself and I'm not listening to this album entirely and collectively, like next to one another, that would probably be my song I come away with is my favorite, Reincarnated. I love the message, the message of this whole devil, Lucifer or Satan, and him relaying that to music and him personifying it or personalizing it with him in the industry and who he is. And like I said, even that being metaphorically or symbolic of the music industry as a whole and how it's corrupted the entire world and just the human race and human beings as a whole. So definitely Reincarnated is one of them ones for sure. And Heart Part 6. I like that one too. I like Heart Part 6 too. So those are pretty much, Gloria wasn't, I felt like it was times on this album too as well where I felt like I liked the features way better than the feature performance way better than whatever Kendrick was doing, which is a little unexpected. I love SZA on both of her records. I love the record that had what was the record? I think it may have been, was it Heart Part 6? Did Heart Part 6 have somebody on it? I'm not sure. But yeah, it was definitely records on her where I felt like the feature performance was better than Kendrick's, and I actually was preferring it. I know on Luther, I believe, is the first record that SZA on. When she came on, I absolutely was loving what she was doing. Kendrick reinserted himself back into the song and kind of stayed behind SZA's vocal, which I didn't love at all. So that, he kind of took away from that song. But yeah, that's all in all pretty much what I got to say, man. We going on almost 3 hours on this stream. It's a stream, so I know niggas stream way longer than that, but for me, it was kind of just a stream, aka reaction that I just decided to do live. But yeah, man, that's kind of my takeaway on this album. If I had to give it a grade out of 10, to be honest, it probably would be like yeah, I don't even know if I necessarily want to grade it. But I got to keep it a bean. I got to keep it a bean with y'all, dog, as much as I always possibly can. And if I'm being 100 how I'm feeling right now, I love immediate responses because it's a time step I could go and reflect on how I felt when I first heard something versus how I could feel, 2-3 weeks or a month down the lane or even a year down the lane. So for that purpose and reason alone, I will grade it. So if I have to give it a score out of 10, me personally, I'm giving it like a let me think. Me personally, bro, I'm giving it like a 6 out of 10 to be absolutely respectful of a Kendrick Lamar album. I'm giving it the grace that, Kendrick Lamar albums don't get a lot of revisiting from me. So I almost can't even, say that's the reason I'm giving it what I'm giving it, because it could have the potential to grow a little bit more on me because I may revisit it in a different space and hear it, but I don't revisit it a lot. I could tell you for the fact that this isn't better than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, easily, because Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper actually has records that I think will go down in some of the best Kendrick Lamar records in his own catalog. I love what I just love what he presented in the person, in the artist he was, and the individual he was on it out more than what I've gotten on her. Particularly just the production and the performances were just vastly different than what we're experiencing on this album, for sure. And that's what my big problem with this album is, the disconnect I believe that exists between West Coast music, me, and I feel like and a lot of other people would agree and say the same thing. Like, there is too many times on this album where I feel like the production and his performance, being that it was a West Coast inspired or influenced album, that gave me the feeling of it was a lot of sarcasm and playing on this album. And with that, bro, that created a huge problem with my listening experience with this album. And so, yeah, man, you know, all in all, Kendrick is who he is. If you asking me what does this do for him going forward, being that the stakes I feel like of where he could be would only, like he said, his rank would only go up, like historically, or even just where he is right now when as far as the big three and running the game. I don't believe this type of album puts him in that trajectory to do so, to oust essentially Drake out of that slot. I still believe Drake has that slot. For me, music has a lot to do with that slot. You know, I'm not going to get all the way into what I believe or have to say on that, because I know, you know, it's the end of the year, it's going into the new year and stuff like that. So I know I have other content and more time to spit on that, but I don't believe that this album sets Kendrick up to be in the number one slot as far as being the guy that's running hip hop. I still believe that is Drake. I just don't know if I feel, and I'm not saying that because I feel, you know, it's some type of bias or Drake is I feel like a West Coast inspired type of album doesn't set Kendrick up in order to have that slot and to be able to take that from Drake, because it's just too regionally biased. It's just too regionally a disconnect from other regions. Like I said, the Midwest, the down south, and probably the East Coast. You know, I kept on bringing up the Nas albums, his early albums, for a comparison and kind of to have people understand what I mean by that, and not just, you know, I'm not trying to just paint this as a Kendrick thing, but it's a real thing when you're from a coast and it has such a distinctive and strong sound. There will be a disconnect in other parts of the world, other parts of the country, that it's not going to hit the same. It's going to form an issue with how it's received and have mixed emotions and have mixed reviews and all the things above. So yeah, man, I can go on and on about this quite often. But please, man, get in the comments. I think I said a lot in this reaction, bro, that I feel like I would love to hear, you know, a different perspective, the opposite perspective, or just if you understand what I mean and can speak more into that and just elaborate on that in the comments, man. So definitely would appreciate that, man. Hopefully I did this. I know for sure, like, my thoughts on this was so over the top and lengthy. It's like, oh my God, I don't even want to have to even fucking deal with the edit or looking at this because it's so much there. But yeah, man. That's kind of where I'm at with it, man. I said so much stuff I already know. I know I got so many things I can pull out of this and kind of put out there and make clips from. So get in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all thought of this album, man. Is this a classic? Is it not? Where do you actually rank this project in the discography of Kendrick Lamar? Off rip, I can tell you it's not better than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I wouldn't put it over Damn. I wouldn't put it over Tip and Butterfly, and I wouldn't put it over Good Kid, Mad City. If you want to count Untitled, Unmastered, have at it. If you want to put it over that, you know, more power to you. I don't necessarily count that as an album. At one point while listening to this album, something did come across my mind that said maybe he's just putting this out in a way where he's clearing out the West Coast records that was inspired during that time of making Not Like Us, and he has really something else in the bag that he probably could release closer to the Super Bowl, or even after, or even the night of. I want to lobby that idea out there as a possibility that maybe this was what I'm saying as far as like getting out these records, not these West Coast records, not letting them go to waste, but ultimately him having a record and another album on the way that'll be around the Super Bowl that I think will be more reflective of what fans like me expect from a Kendrick that is a different caliber than what was presented on his album. So, yeah, man, get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about the album, man. Like I said, give me where the ranking of where this would lie in his discography. What are some standouts? What are some things that you felt, you know, you're critical of? And yeah, man, just get in the comments. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Know what time it is, man. It's your boy Word. Yeah.
You one time,